Nice. Hello. 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 Oops. Hello. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Live. 1, 2, 1, 2, live. All right, folks. Brett has been paused due to should resume shortly. Click to expand. What's going on here? Caption off. This and that. Okay. Like it. Like it. Like it. Like it. Man, I like it. Okay. So let's just do this, folks. And what we're going to go ahead and do is, guess what? We're going to go ahead and move from that facility to this facility. Okay, good to see you folks out there. How you doing tonight? It is 6:59. 6:59. That's what I said, 6:59. All right. So with that said, I like to go ahead and see what is going on here. All righty, so let's go. Let's make things happen. Let's do it. Let's get things going. Let's make it move. And most of all, I want to say hi, folks. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you. Can you see my old glitter? Let me turn the lights on here. Bam, there we go. Okay, that's much better. All right, cool bananas. All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and make things happen. Let's start sharing some stuff and get going. I'm a little early here right now, but that's okay. Let's see what's happening here with the screen and go. One sad thing about this is that YouTube, again, for some reason, YouTube does not like Zoom anymore. Not YouTube, I'm sorry. Um, is the YouTube, no, Facebook does not seem to like the Zoom anymore for some reason. Do not know, do not understand why. But one thing I wanted to definitely say is, guess what? I have no idea, and I'm not sure why they're doing what they're doing. But here's the thing. I just really want to let you know that it really doesn't matter, because we'll put our thing on Facebook. It's just too bad they can't have it live. I tried right now to download some of the stuff they said, yet at the same time, they just said, nah, no good, whatever it is. So I'm going to let my tech guy handle all that. All right, folks, good to see you tonight. How are you all doing? It's awesome to see you. And most of all I want to say is this, is that one thing you want to begin to remember and understand is this. Building corporate credit is one thing that is really, really important. You know, I mean, a lot of people will tell you things about building business credit. They're going to sell you on a bunch of nice little words. They'll go ahead and sell you on different items and so on. But one thing they really don't get down to is the brass tacks. It's like really, what are you going to do when you're building your business credit? Like, really. And on top of this, another thing is this. As you're building, where are they going to be at? They're going to support you live, or at least I'll get back to you and give me 1 hour or something. Even I'll call you. Can I call you tonight at 7 p.m. your time or 8 p.m. your time? Doesn't that matter to you when you actually do that? Doesn't that make a difference, knowing that you are the one that makes a difference, and that they're willing to wait and call you later so you have time to speak with you and give you that time? Here's one thing I want to let you know. Building corporate credit is not just about building corporate credit. It's also another thing is, do you have a relationship? So you're going to build a relationship with us. You're going to join a family. Now, inside the family, we're not asking you to like us. We're asking you that, you can count on us to be there for you, or at least get back to you in a timely manner. Even if it's, look, can I call you at 8:30 at night your time? This way I can dedicate a good solid 30 minutes or 45 minutes to you, to your question. This is the things that has left the industry since the COVID. A good excuse not to perform. Also, again, like I said, we're looking again to go ahead and have our first live event here in Phoenix in May for the corporate credit blueprints and the structure. You get live the information. So one of the things you want to begin to look at is that we don't treat you as just, okay, here's a YouTube, listen to it, or here's a playback, listen to it. The only time you get a playback is when you actually come to the live training. We'll give you the playback. Sometimes we don't. You call, hey, where's the playback? And we'll just send it to you. Sometimes, we're not perfect, okay? But here's the beautiful thing about it. You can call and ask us. Go, oh, okay, cool. You forget things in life, so, things happen. But one thing I just want to let you know is that you're not left alone. You get a lot of people that explain different things on YouTube. They have many different stories. Tonight, I'm going to cover a lot of different venues inside how corporate credit blueprint works, all the way from a person that goes from the basic system to a person that takes on the big system. Now there is inside of that, there is always something that needs to be done. Also, another thing, we do personal credit as well inside us. We never really advertised it, but now we're going to start advertising for it, because the thing is, things are changing. I told you next year things are going to change when Biden gets in, and the changes are already going to coming about. Not quite this year, but next year you're going to see more of it. If you don't have your personal credit kind of, let me slap my face. It's not kind of, it is a fact. If you do not have your personal credit straightened up, you won't be able to get certain things that you're looking for. All right. Especially if you want to go to a bank. All right. A bank's going to be one of the more of the things that you're going to be looking for, your personal credit, even though it's a soft pull. It could be a soft pull or a hard pull, depending. Plus another thing, I was back in the day when Home Depot had MasterCards. Man, right off the MasterCard, they gave me 25 grand right off the rip, because I had everything done right. On a corporate MasterCard revolving, that was secured through Citibank. All right. Those days are almost gone. Not quite, almost, because you can still get a few things like American Express, your Visa, MasterCards, or UCB, Discover, your Diners Club. A lot of that you can get still within a fair limit. Under 25, you're not going to have a problem. Up to 50, they might not ask for any returns, and they're going to do a soft pull just to see. They do a soft pull because they want to make sure. Well, wait a minute. If you're the CEO or the CFO, remember in some of the webinars I stated to you, it's going to be important that you become the strong CFO of your organization. Why? Because eventually it's going to change to some degree, where the soft pull is going to make a difference in you getting the American Express, the Visa, MasterCards. Also, you want to get all your personal side straightened up, because they're changing the credit score. You want to get everything off there, and you have the right to question and get everything off there. You also can get BK, bankruptcies, off with no problem. Why? Because it's legit and it's true. But a lot of people try to make it like, oh, it's a real big secret. It's not a big secret. The courts don't report. And since the courts don't report, guess what? When the credit system on the personal side says, yes, we verified it, they lied. Now you caught them in a lie, because you're going to have something from the court that says, no, we never report to any bureaus at all. A third party comes in, scoops up the information, and sells it to the bureaus. Like, for instance, LexisNexis, Sage, all your other ones that are out there that go ahead and have them. You got to understand is that those are the ones that tell them that's what happened. So they lie and tell it's been verified. No, you send them a letter that you get from the court saying, we do not go ahead and verify this. They have to take it off. Or you can go to the Federal Credit Act, all right, and they have attorneys that will take the case, and they're going to charge you after they win, which means whatever you win, they're going to take 33% of it. Folks, I'm telling you, we know there's a lot that we have here to give and offer that we really don't like to say a lot, because the thing is, when you bring it into the family, we want to spill it. But there's a lot of people now kind of, I don't know, they're out there telling you everything. We just want to make sure you get the right information. So let's go and get going here. All right. First of all, good credit score. I'm talking about personal credit score. I do not care if your credit score right now is in the dumps. I don't care if it's a 300. We deal expertly in this arena to get things done for you, so you can get all the nasty cha-cha off you, okay? Got to get all the cooties off. Why? Because you have the right to argue things. Even if it's a collection and it's yours and it's real, there's a reason why it can be taken off. Not like no spoofy, crazy stuff, but there's ways to get it off, and it takes maybe a couple times, 60, 90 days, but you can get it off. See, everyone, here's the thing. If you want microwavable in personal credit, forget it. Forget it. The way you're going to get the microwavable, if you already have the good credit, now you want to get yourself to a good credit score, and then get the microwavable stuff to get the scores up to 800, 850, 790, 750, 800, 805. Once you get it to that particular arena and clean everything up, let's say you have everything cleaned up, and you're at 690s, 680s, 650s. You can get it cleaned up. You can actually raise your scores then, but you first got to clean it up. Once you clean it up, you're on. Game is on. So this is one thing I want to let you know about good credit. Here's why good credit is going to make a difference as a CFO. A lot of people, there's these programs out there, people brag about it, and they say, hey, look it, you can go ahead and have your business. You can have your business. Go ahead and get anywhere between, $30,000 to $150,000 at no interest for anywhere from between 6 to 18 months. That's not bad. You might get some credit cards, some revolving lines of credit. That's why it's called a hybrid. That's why we call it a hybrid. A hybrid means there's different options. But here's the one thing about it. You don't pay anything. You don't pay anything for it. Some people charge you up front. We don't charge you up front. But we charge a 15% success fee after on all the cards approved or credit lines approved. Then we charge you that. Why? Because of the work we do. Now, here's the first thing. Here's the exact requirements. Here's the exact requirements. So let's say your credit's horrible. Well, these requirements in about 9 months, we probably can, in about 9 months on the personal side, maybe 9 to 12 months, we can take care of some of the stuff depending on how bad it is. This is the reason why we'd have to do an initial investigation with you to go, okay, great. Then we get a credit report and we look at that, we analyze it, we do a one-on-one, and we show you right there on the screen. We show you right on the screen, here's the analysis of it, and this is what needs to be removed in order to get to these scores. You'll know. Anyways, it's 1 to 3 years of clean credit history. Some of you have a good history on there, which means you have the time, but just have this junk on there you need to get off. The hard inquiries, all these other stuff. You got to stop doing the inquiries now, because if you know you're not going to get it, don't get it. Soft pull, I have no problem. Do all the soft pulls all day long. Whether you get rejected or not, doesn't matter. Soft pull, soft pull, soft pull. You want a soft pull that will not go do a hard pull after they accept you. Remember that. You want to do a soft pull where they will not do a hard pull on you after. Okay, so there's some things you got to begin to understand, and when you're cleaning up your own personal credit, if you're going to do soft pulls, make sure the soft pulls don't do a hard pull once they accept you. Say, okay, great, you're accepted. Let's do this. Let's go. And then they do a hard pull after that. No. And they are out there. I'm not going to tell you what they are tonight because it's not what this is about. You're going to start seeing this. We're going to have webinars now on the personal credit as well. We're going to go into detail. All right. But here, you want 3 years of clean credit history, no derogatory items, or at least none in the recent past. All right. That means at least 3 or 4 years. All right. 3+ open revolving credit accounts, 30% or lower revolving debt ratio, which means your overall debt ratio must be 30% or less. Shoot for 20. You shoot for 20, you're more likely to get the higher dollar amount. Also, your credit score. Here we go. 720 plus credit scores. If you don't have it, I'm going to tell you when it comes down, when they offer you, because ours, I'm going to show you here, we offer you, when they offer you anywhere from $500 to $1 million, you're going to need that score, period. Period. Some of them we have that will offer you without some will make the offer without financials, but you have to have this particular score with pretty much what's on there now, and no more than 6 inquiries per credit bureau in the last 6 months. So all bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, cannot have more on each one of those than 6 inquiries in the last 6 months. This is what I pride ourselves with, because we do and can clean up any credit. Some of it takes a little longer because some of you guys have got some horrific stuff on there. It's crazy. But it does come off, and it takes a little bit, a little gumption, and a little fortitude. But the thing is, that's what we do. We keep working and keep banging it, keep banging it, and keep banging it. So one of the things I want to let you know is this. This is their criteria that you're going to need to do for any of those programs they're telling you out there now. Hey, get this, go co-sign for your company, and you're going to get this kind of money, blah, 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 $30,000 to $150,000. That's true, but this is what you're going to need. And a lot of people get turned down, or they come back with something else you don't like, which means it's a higher interest rate. Okay? Which means instead of 0 interest rate, you're going to get an interest rate up front. Remember this. There's always something for something. This is a good program if you have this to go ahead and get your building, to get your credit started right away and build your score right away. Yes, that's a good way. Or you can still do it the old-fashioned way, get all the vendors at one shot. This afternoon, I did a short class of what to get started. Sometime tomorrow, I believe in the afternoon, I'm not sure, but I'm coming on YouTube and on Facebook to go ahead and tell them, here are the vendors, the 5 vendors you want to go. Your job is to call each vendor and ask them, when is their statement date? When is their statement date? When is their closing statement date? When is their closing statement date? When is their closing statement date? When you know the closing statement date, you want to go ahead and make the payment in full before then. Especially on 30-day nets, it's going to be in full anyways, but you want to pay it before the closing date. And way before, of course, before the billing date of when it's due. Like if you get it on the 12th, you're going to have a billing date on the 11th of the next month. All right? And there's no grace period. There is no grace period in business and corporate credit. No grace period. 30 days is 30 days. You're late, you're late. It's not like a personal credit card. If you're late on the payment, you have 15 days or something like that, or 30 days before they report it late, but you're going to pay a $50 fee for enjoying being late. So internally, they have a record of you saying you're a low-life varmint for being late, but you pay $50 so they don't go tell the public that you're a low-life varmint. Okay? That's pretty much the difference. On corporate credit, you don't pay on the due date, you're late, it gets reported, and they let everybody know your organization's a low-life varmint. Your enterprise is a low-life varmint because it didn't pay on time. You want to maintain that 80, 85, 90, even 100. But the thing is, you're in the 80 plus, you're going to be beautiful. You're going to do well, good things. Now, let's go to the next thing. So remember this. This here is the ideal. And there are people out there that have it. And you too can have it if you clean up your credit report, your personal credit report. Now, you're eventually going to need it. So you might as well eventually get started with it. You can go to www.corporatecredit-blueprints.com and just put the information, what you're looking for, and we'll get back to you. All right, cool. Next thing, idea, light bulb. Let me tell you. All right, so eventually I'm going to have to clean up my personal credit report. I want to build business credit. My credit report right now is horrific. So can I build my business credit with horrible credit? Yes, you can. In the meantime, you're going to clean it up along the road. Why? Because it's going to benefit you. So as you're building your business credit, you're cleaning up your personal credit, and then what you're doing now, you're building everything up. So when you kind of get to the personal credit might arrive a lot sooner than your personal credit, but when you hit your personal credit, now you're going to have a different persona about you and the way you think about yourself. Because most people think they don't have, you don't have good credit. Oh, well, I don't need it. Well, tough bahootie. That's not important. Well, I'm going to tell you, yes, it's not in the moment. Even when you get so much corporate credit, you can get it up to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million without a personal guaranteeing. Yet you'll miss out on the big chunks. Like, for instance, you can get yourself a corporate platinum American Express, but your corporation is going to have at least a minimum of $6 million in sales revenue. Reporting on your Dun & Brad with a minimum of 12 plus people. All right, with a minimum of at least 14 trade accounts on your business experience. Also your Dun & Bradstreet Equifax. This is the reason why I keep telling you, if you're going to go for a D&B, sometimes it's worth going just for the D&B, but you're looking for the twofers and threefers. The twofers is Dun & Brad and Business Experian, they report. The threefers is, of course, Dun & Brad, Business Experian, and TransUnion. Excuse me, Equifax. Equifax. So these are the things that you want to begin to understand and know that this is what's really important. Those three things, when you get cards, you want to do the things for the threefers, the twofers, Sometimes the one is okay, but again, the twofers again is you have your Dun and Brad and business experience that reports, or the threefers is where you have business experience, Dun and Brad, and Equifax reporting. This is why it's so important in the beginning. So these are the ideas that we were talking about. And also, like I said, when you clean up your personal credit and run it down and get it all out there and clean it up, as we clean up your personal credit, we're also building your business credit. And your business credit's going to run a little smoother because you don't have any dings. If you have any dings on business credit, then we got to clean that up as well. But the most beautiful thing about it is that even when you lose, you'll win. Because one thing around here is this: we do not stop until you win. That's what the light bulb's all about. Wow, there are other things that we can do? Absolutely. These are things they normally don't teach you in classes or courses, which means this: in school, they never taught you about finance. Some of you millennials, you've been hampered because they never taught you about what about personal credit? What about business credit? Yes, I'm going to need business credit, but I'm going to need personal credit too. First, personal credit is going to be your line of defense inside your personal life, not to build a business. It will assist you in building a business, but at the same time, what you want to do is, guess what? You want to go ahead and guess what? You want to go ahead and keep your personal credit at a lower limit, so in case an emergency happens. In the business side, when emergency shows up, you run towards the problem like a lion because you know that business credit will not bring the pain home. Now, let me explain about trade lines versus credit repair. Trade lines are this. Trade line is the addition of positive items to a credit report for the purpose of increasing credit scores. Credit repair is the removal of negative items from a credit report for the purpose of increasing credit scores. All right? That's what those things are for. That's what it's all about. Now, most people understand it. That's the difference. That's the two different things: credit repair and trade lines. A lot of people don't talk about the trade lines out there, but I never really, well, we haven't either. I'm going to be honest about that, because we do when we bring you in, but I never really advertise it like this because a lot of people take trade lines differently. There's primary trade lines, there's irregular trade lines, there's authorized users, and so on and so on. We don't get into any of that nonsense. We'd rather have a primary trade line that takes care of certain things for you, and there's a way that we do it appropriately so it does belong to you. And it's already either paid off. It's not like anything hanging out. It's paid off and it's registered to you, nobody else. There's paperwork that gets done that has the transfer that goes over, and you get it. So it's legit and it's clean. All right? So a lot of things is, and the credit repair is removal. You don't get trade lines to make anything better. You get rid of the credit. You get rid of all the junk and the garbage off your personal credit to go ahead and make it better. So then when you add the trade lines, now you look like a king or queen. All right, so now that's a little bit on that. I don't want to spend too much time on the personal credit, but again, it's part of the packages that we have. At the same time, people really have been asking us lately and been emailing me and saying, hey, what's the difference? This is just the basic difference, all right? This is the basic difference. Now, another thing for you is this. Business trade lines. Business trade lines are different than personal trade lines, but you're probably interested in them for the same reason. You need better credit for business funding. That's one of the things that we actually do here. I mentioned some things that we do. Now, we have the beginner part. Everyone starts from the beginner. They're going to do Quail. They're going to do Uline. All right, we understand all that. Some people that they just at this moment in life, the moment in their life requires that they do that. Not a problem. But here's the thing. So this is the page. So this page isn't designed to sell you a trade line, all right? But to inform you, which will help you stay focused on your goals rather than sidetrack you into gimmick terms. And these are primary trade lines. Primary trade lines. Remember that for your business. Your business will inherit the trade line once you decide to do the trade line on your business. The reason why is because the business will inherit that trade line, and it will be under its own tax ID number. So it's not like an authorized user. It's actually the business trade line, okay? Now, some of the answers, here's some of the answers for your business trade lines is at www.corporatecredit-blueprints.com. But also another answer is this. What we do is we make sure the paperwork is done correctly. So when you get the trade line, the primary trade line for your business, it's all your organization. It's clean, no bad stuff with it. It's already been paid. It's clear. It's crisp. And then you're able to transfer it. See, a lot of people don't understand this. Even in the real estate class, there's a lot of stuff we talk there's so much how this connects. And this is the reason why a lot of people probably don't put it together, because there is some other forms you have to fill out. So I just kind of give you like the smell of the flavor of the food, because it'll take a whole day to go ahead and talk about the real estate part of it. But there's a way in the real estate to go ahead and use if this thing you find a mom and pop apartment building that, like up to $5 million, and it's under an LLC, there's a way to go ahead and transfer that history over, that payment history over to a corporation, not another LLC. There's a reason why I say it, but I'm not going to tell you the reason. But now you can transfer that over without any problem. And guess what? You can even refinance that once it's transferred over because of the history, and it's still, the bank knows about the transfer because you give them all the necessary paperwork to make the transfer. See, it's all understanding the game. A lot of people out there, talk about good stuff. I heard a couple of brothers today he's driving in a nice car with red seats. I like that. And he's talked some good stuff. He talks some great stuff, and he has some great things to say. And yet I can see where everyone's kind of, they have a certain area in a box. Well, since I've been around since 1985, I've woven around those boxes, and I've done quite a few things to those. And I'm beginning to ramp up again because this is a good time of year again, the season. And here's another thing, just so you might want to understand, is that the lending is going to change, but also is going to be some favorable and some. This is the reason I'm saying get your credit cleaned up now, because next year it's going to hit. It's going to hit. All right. Don't wait and say, oh, I should have started. Here's the thing. If you do stuff now, it's going to take about 90 days to get it all done. It's not overnight. It's not microwavable. If you want a microwavable corporation, it's still, you could buy a shelf seasoned corporation. It's still not microwavable. You're still going to have to wait the 45, 60, 90, maybe 180 days, depending what you do. Because even if you buy a corporation that says it's ready to go, some of those you're going to have, not some, all of them you're going to have to do through a transfer. And then some are going to do a background check on you, which means they're going to do a soft pull on your credit. Some are hard pull on your credit to maintain those credit lines. What are you going to do? See, these are the things you want to begin to understand. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't think about this. Everything's still going to take time. It's not going to be you walk in and tomorrow's sign. Sorry, end of story. Unless, put it this way. If I had the corporation I was selling and I was still on the board, I can bring you on, and there's a way to do that too, where it can move quick. But a lot of people don't even know how to do that. They talk about you can't do certain things. I can tell you within 2 weeks, you can be done and have the corporation apply for more credit and stuff. There's just things that need to be done in a particular way. And there's a fee to pay. There's a fee to pay. You want that to happen real quick? And let's say I'm the one with the company, I'm selling it. I'm going to charge a fee because I have to go over with it. And then there's certain paperwork I do. So the fact is that you can get the credit right away and apply for it right away and get it. But the thing is, I don't come cheap and I don't come easy. And I'm telling you, it's just the truth. You're going to find out that a lot of people won't do this because, put it this way, a lot of people go to school and they spend a lot of money. So I hear some people tell me I got, $25,000, $30,000, $80,000. I got, $12,000. I have, $65,000 in school debt they spent to go to school. I'm going to tell you this: if you're going to spend any kind of money, that's the money I would spend. You need to drop 3 racks, 4 racks, 5 racks, and then. But here's the thing: you'll have funding to $500,000 to $1 million, and that's the truth. That's what we really do have that I don't say out in public, but I'm going to say it now. Because you know what? If you're going to play, then I'm going to tell you it's going to cost you to play big. That's the truth. I'm not kidding you. I'm not lying. Go Google this and tell me I'm wrong. You'll find people that are charging exactly. In fact, they're charging way more what I just said. Here's the thing. If you're going to play big and you want to go to school, then pay the price for school. This is the place you graduate, and you graduate with money, anywhere from a $500,000 to at least $1 million in corporate credit. And that's not done yet. I'll tell you why, because there's more stuff that's going on behind the scene. All right, here we go now. Now, corporate credit blueprints is one of the best weapons in regarding with age corporations. We understand the value of age corporations. We understand the value, what it takes, what it costs, and what it needs to do. Also, another thing is this: your corporation business planning, trade line accounts, corporate building up your services, funding services. Here, we do a lot of this, all this stuff for you. When I say aged, I don't mean sitting there not being in business. I'm telling you, it's been aged, building business, building credit lines, and moving mountains. It's doing something. It has something to do. It has a business that's generating the money, okay? This is why I'm saying if you're going to play, you're going to go to school, you're paying now. Those of you who say, oh, I can do this, cool, you go right ahead and not a problem. But like I said, it's going to 3 racks, 4 racks, 5 racks. If you want that, cool. Nothing wrong with it. You're paying for your school. There it is. Now, another thing is this. Why us? Because guess what? We're business mentors. Once you join with us, you're part of the family. We're not looking for people that are whiners. We're looking for people that are willing to go ahead and do stuff. Okay, great. They sign up. Here's what you need to do. All right, here's the deal. You're coming to, depending if you buy a business or it's your own. You're going to buy a primary trade line. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We have to get paperwork and get it to you. You sign for it. You take this, you get it notarized, you send it back to us. We now give it to the trade line. We get the trade line fixed up where it's now in your business name, Dun & Brad, and business and the tax ID number, so it reports to all the necessary places we want it, to Business Experian or Business Equifax or SPFE or PayNet. These are all the areas, or Equifax Financial. All right, there's other things that report to, but you'll have reporting, let's say, on a small scale, let's say $120,000, but very well, primary season trade lines. If you've been in business even for a year, you're getting a 2 or 3 year business trade line will be perfect. Or if you've been around for 8 years, having a 7, 8, 6, 5-year-old primary trade line is going to be awesome. Then after the time, you'll see in a minute, I'm going to show you a timeline. You can have these things based on certain things. All right. As long as you're not going to go for anything over 50, you won't need any tax returns or financials. Some people get a little cocky in this particular program that we do, and they try for 100 and they get disappointed. We told you, don't go over 50 right now. They have to see. There's some banks that'll see you. If you get loans from other little banks like 30, 40, 45, and they all add up and you're paying everybody on time because you're doing your business to make things happen, then guess what? Usually they'll waive it to get you to 60. But there's some other things that now we tell you how to get past that. There's other ways. And somebody was saying, there was another brother that was talking today, gave some good information, but he said you can't do certain things. Well, that's not true when he said you can't. Because there's a way you use it by using divisions to get around a lot of this stuff. Because remember, debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID, and debt follows your DUNS number. Debt follows Equifax, all right? Here's what I want to let you know, is there is a way I'm going to show you in a minute. When you actually, here's the thing, when you actually buy and actually get into a primary trade line or have a company that's already seasoned and you're willing to go ahead and drop the racks on that, here's the deal. We're able to take that and then multiply them in with the divisions right away as we go along, because you have stuff to go ahead and go with it. So you're going to actually have almost, let's say, at least a minimum of $400,000 on the 3 divisions. That's 1.2 mil plus the other 5. All right, that's 1.7 mil. So these are the things that make a difference. All right. So this is the reason why I say why us, because we do mentor you. Here's the thing, we'll call you up to whatever time zone you're in. If it's 9 p.m. your time zone, we'll call you at 9 p.m. Look, we'll ask you. We don't want to call you this time because I like to talk to you and give you a good hour's attention or 40 minutes of your attention to you, because you're part of the family. This is the best time to talk to you regarding your situation, so we can get this going. Or you're doing really good. Okay, cool. I can call you at 8. Whatever the time frame is, we'll usually call you. And then if it's during the workday, if we don't have anything scheduled, we'll talk to you. If not, we'll go ahead and plan it. It's usually after 6 p.m., whatever time bracket you're on. But one thing I want to let you know is this. The reason why also we're so choosy of our clients and selection at any level. That means when they're coming in, I don't care if they come at the basic level. They come at the basic level, that's fine. They're still part of the family. Just because someone has the racks to drop doesn't make them any better. They're still going to have, the person that drops the rack still going to have to wait the time. They just happen to have a score, well, like a person at the beginner level will have a score, but the dollar amounts are going to be higher than going to Uline or going to Crown Office Supply or going to few of the places that give you maybe 3,000, 4,000. They're going to be showing anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 on primary trade lines on their business versus what the small one. But the thing is, you're still going to have a score and you still can build. That's the beautiful thing about it. As you begin to build, you begin to build. There's some cards out there right now that if you give $1,000, they'll give you $3,000, which means they're not going to approve you under the corporate credit approval. But if you give them $1,000, they'll give you 3 times the money. So now you get a MasterCard that's due in 30 days. That's going to give you $3,000. There you go. Get a $3,000 trade line. That's what Amazon's looking for, by the way. We want to get you so when you get your score, the first place we're going to go to is Amazon. All right? Why? Because I want you to get their credit line. Why do I want you to get their credit line? I'm not going to tell you. Why? Because that's something I tell in the class. But there's a special reason why I want you to have it, because it's very valuable to you. What if I tell you? See, that credit line is to buy items from the store. What if I tell you that credit line to give? Let's say they start you off at $5,000 in a credit line or $2,500 in a credit line. I'm going to tell you right there, you have $2,000 worth of cash credit available to you, and I won't tell you how, but you do. All right. So now that's why we're really choosy who we bring in. We don't want to bring in people that are going to whine. Can't. Well, you know what? No, make up your mind, or we'll make your mind up for you. So look, let's do this. Let's do that. No, let's do this. Okay, great. We're not going to play. Why? We want to get you where you want to go. Don't come to us if you don't want to get somewhere. Why? Because we really want to take you someplace. If you're really that hungry and you're tired of being where you're at, let's run. We're ready. So this is where we're choosing. So we want to give each of you the time and guidance you deserve. This is the reason why we're choosing on who we bring in. I don't want to just bring in anybody. And another thing is this, when we talk to you, we're going to interview you first, and this might not be for you. We might not be a good fit. You might not, I don't like the way you talk. Okay, cool. I don't like it because you have this. I'm going to shave this off anyway soon. So what are you going to say then? Then you say, well, I like it better when it's on. Whatever. Okay, that's good. So what I'm saying is this. It doesn't really matter if you like us or not, or we like you. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a good fit. Because when we ask you to do something, we need to get it done. Why? Because we're asking you because we know what it's going to make a difference for you, not for us, but for you, and gives us a better picture of what's going on. So one of the things I want to let you know is that we really want to make sure you're going to be a good fit, because you know what? We want you to win. And another thing about that, some of you, might say, well, I want to start the high program where I'm going to have to drop some racks. All right, well, you know what? Might not have it right now. I said you can start here. When you come up with the racks, we'll just move you up there. That's all we got to do. So either way you can, but the thing is that usually people come to us, they wanted the money yesterday. This is about as close as you're going to get on if you're going to go ahead and buy an aged corporation that already has either business with it, or you're going to buy the primary trade lines because you've been in business, let's say more than 2 years, and you don't have any dings that we have to clean up. If we have to clean up the dings, it's going to take a little longer, because we're not going to put those trade lines on there until we get the stuff cleaned off. See, then once we get the trade lines on there, we can go do it. We'll set it up so it reports right away. But the thing is, once you pay for those trade lines, it's in, it's gone, it's going. So we have to clean the other mess up. So this is one thing about why I say it's important that you know really what you want to do. And if you're not sure, then start at the low level and build up and get where you want to go. Maybe 9, 12, 18 months, you might be there, or you might be sooner. All I want to let you know is this. We work with all of you based on, because I talk to a lot of people myself, and some people are not a good fit. They're just not. I can hear it. Well, they're not really sure. And if they're not, they've lost the drive. I can hear it. And the thing is, I refer them to places where to go to, because the thing is, I'm going to work with somebody. I'm going to work with somebody that does really well, which means myself, I'm going to do what I do, and I like building corporate credit. I love it. I like handling personal credit, because a lot of people don't realize they can get it cleaned up. And I don't mean like the ones you used to hear years ago, man, back in the 80s and 90s. My God Almighty, holy Mother Mary and Joseph, they were talking about crooks and rooks. But now everything's federally regulated and this, that, and the other thing. So you know what? And also, you have the right to cancel at any time. Before, they didn't let you cancel almost. Man, they would always come to your door, knock on the door. And it's crazy if you got into their program. But now, everything's, there's a lot of good, great quality people who actually clean up stuff for you and get it done. And that's one thing I pride myself here at, Corporate Credit Blueprints, is that I do pride myself that we can get that stuff done on the personal side. And when I say lickety split in time. So when it gets time to get your corporate credit to start signing, you need to in certain areas, we get it done for you. On top of that, we also have a program that when you sign, let's say you sign on behalf of the corporation under a program we refer you to go ahead and get cash credit, then we have a way to get you out of it. So now it's on the corporation back. So it's no longer your back anymore, but you're just a temporary, target until we get you off. And that's one thing about it. Some of you out there have already targets. Call us. I don't know why you're not calling us. Call us and get off it. We'll show you how. We'll show you how. We'll create the design, get you off the credit, so it's all strictly on the corporation. So anyways, so you want to add a supercharged boost to your business credit reports? Guess what? You want to go ahead and use primary trade lines for business. Also, you'll be able to accelerate your history and spending power. This is what you're looking for. Here's another thing I was talking about right here for you, right here, folks, right here. Here's a timeline. Unlike our competitors, corporatecreditblueprints.com does it all. This means we do everything for you except a few things. Like if we need your credit report, you got to pull it. All right. Now, another thing, we apply a systematic approach implemented by highly experienced experts, and that's our team. And they start with making your business credit ready, and we do all the work. This is where people start dropping the racks. You're not going to do any of the work, but one of the requirements are that you actually come to the training so you have an idea what we're doing. So if anything comes about, you'll know roughly what to do so you don't panic. See, a lot of people panic when financial stuff shows up, or it's going to show up. You don't take care of it now. You got to take care of it now, or else it's going to bite you. We all know when financial stuff is showing up. You just got to either generate more or do what you got to do to make it happen. See, look at our timeline below, and there's another page to this, and follow these links for more information. You got 7-day credit ready period. You get a funding before the paydex. You get 80 paydex. You get useful trade lines. You get fund after 80. You get funding after an 80 paydex. Remove credit inquiries if you're going to do it on a personal side, and two funding rounds. So how much can you get? I don't know. How about a couple of thousand? 250. Now, here's this. When you start in this particular program, which means it's either a shelf or primaries that you do, you can get your paydex within 45 days to 21 days to get funding. Then you have your get funding after 80 paydex at 21 days, all right? And then also, if you did a personal round, which is a hybrid, remove the credit inquiries from the first round. Then we go for the second round. So what we do is we have useful trade lines, credit lines. So in 128 days, you can go to 2 different rounds if you follow the program and you pay for now you're paying for the whole caboodle. We do everything. If you have the primary trade lines, we take your business, we look at it, we articulate it to make sure, okay, it fits everything. If there's anything messed up on it, we've got to make sure we clean it up. Because here's the thing. It's why it says get credit ready in 7 days. Got to get your business ready. That's why we have to get the reports to see where they're at. We get your report to see, are you going to be ready to do a hybrid if we wanted to do a hybrid. If you don't want to do a hybrid, it'd be something else that we would do where it just would be no PG, but it'd be a lower amount of money. All right. So between here, after 128 days total, roughly, give or take a few days either way, you're going to find out that you'll have at least anywhere between $150,000 to $250,000 in cash credit if you allow us and to do the lines, which means a lot of people get in the way because you didn't want to build it. We're building it. Even though it's yours, we're still building it. You're not supposed to apply for any credit whatsoever, personal or business. We're cleaning up your personal. If there's any hard inquiries. Here's another thing. Hard inquiries with Experian can be removed in 24 hours. Hard inquiries with business experience can be removed in 24 hours, okay? Equifax and TransUnion a little longer because you have to handwrite those in. But we do all the work for you. We'll send you the letters, you sign them, you ship them. Now, with that said, now let's go here. Check out our Supercorps. Now, when I say Supercorps, I'm going to show you only one example. I didn't want to go through a whole lot of examples because you know what? I don't want to bore you guys to death with a whole bunch of examples. But I'm going to give you one. If you want more, go ahead and I'll show you more. But here, check out our business Supercorps, complete with domain, website, logo, slogan, and more. Now, these are the ones that people usually, when I say the big players, big player means this. They understand the value of some of the people that have gone to school. They said, man, I'm going to drop, about 10 racks on this, and I'm going to get more than I went to college for. And I got my PhD. And I don't mean Pizza Hut delivery. All right. So the thing is that they understand, because now when you have up to $500,000, possible up to 500,000 in possible funding in about 128 days, then from there to daisy chain it. Oh my God. Think about this for a minute. And I know no one quite understands daisy chaining to some degree. Look at, here's one of the companies right here. I didn't put the name on it. Date filed 7/17/2015. Age 5.59 years. Funding capacity up to $400,000. Credit score 80 paydex score in 45 to 60 days, which means once we go through your whole thing, if you don't have a paydex score of 80, we'll get it there in 45 to 60 days, depending on you. The faster you mail out the paperwork, the faster we get it back, the faster we get it done. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is where you learn your line of defense. Everything I've been talking about has been leading up to this. The line of defense is one of the most valuable things that you can ever learn is this. You want the line of defense right here because guess why? Your line of defense is going to be what we talked about. Let's say you have your corporation with everything here. What if we take the $500,000 you have in whatever kind of lines you have or credit you have, and we're able to go ahead and possibly go ahead and move them down here, and then move them down here, then move them down here. What if we were able to go ahead and have one of the trade lines or one of your credit cards, let's say American Express, let's say Walmart. You could have a Walmart given down here, Walmart down here, a Costco, Sam's MasterCard, Walmart MasterCard, Costco MasterCard, or American Express. All right. All these things could be given to these, and there's a way to do it because each one of these eventually will have a tax ID number. It will have everything that we talked about before, but now this will actually work its way to after roughly about 90 to 120 days. These credit lines now will become them without any kind of credit inquiry, period. I will challenge anybody on this. There's only one other person I know that teaches this part of it and knows it's true. Everybody out there never talks about this. They only talk about the surface, the first part. If you're going to do anything and make an investment, why not get 10 times your investment? So if you invested $25,000, what's 10% of that? What's 10% of $25,000, folks? You know the number to that. 10% of $25,000, that would be your return if you invested on one of those companies. And the reason why I'm using high numbers tonight, if it blows you away, I never said there was another level program, a lower level you can start with and start lower. This just means you're going to end up with higher credit limits. Still, an 80 is an 80 score. 80 is an 80 score. And if your personal credit's not up to shape, then get in and do your personal credit and get it straightened up. That's the most important part about dealing with business credit and personal credit. All right. But the thing is, if you're going to go ahead and make that investment in yourself, you're going to get a 10 times that, not 10%, 10 times that, 10 times your money that you invest in yourself. Why? Because that'll be $250,000. That if you get $500,000, you just did. You saw right here $400,000. That's almost 10. That's way more than 10 times your amount you invest. If you invested $3,000 and you got $30,000, that's 10 times your investment. This is the only place you're going to get your investment that will allow you to start a business to make an investment on the investment that you made in yourself. Think about that, folks. This is not about business. This is not about selling you anything. Either you want to go ahead and have a business and get it going and have money, OPM, other people's money to make it, and realize this is the only place you can actually justify, hey, you know what, hon? In anywhere between 9 to 18 or 24 months tops, we'll have at least $250,000 for the money I invested. Put it away. The money you invested, you will have 10 times that. You buy a primary trade line, all right? Primary trade line, because they all come in threes. Primary trade line. So you buy a primary trade line at $37.50, all right? And you get a 30, a 30, and a 30, and a 30 on there. That's $120,000 reported on your business, and all within 45 to 60 days. And if it's Dun and Brad reporting to, it's going to be 120 days, all right? So here's the thing. Your investment, you get back way more than you'll ever even give. But we give you more back in return because we know the valuable as a student. We know the valuable as you being a family. Even on the personal credit side, this is where we get a lot of referrals from, is that once we clean you up, you tell your family, and then the family says, well, then they start talking about business credit. So the beautiful thing is, remember, personal credit, you won't get the amount of money you'll get with business credit. You'll get up anywhere from 5 to 10 times more than you will on the personal side. But sometimes you want the personal side to get a little oomph. If I tell you, a bank says, look, we'll go ahead and approve the credit for you as long as you personal guarantee it for $2 million. I'm going to tell you, I would personal guarantee the $2 million. Why? Because if anything happens, it was well worth the $2 million to personal guarantee it. That's myself. That's my opinion. I'm not here to be your attorney. I'm not here to be your financial advisor. I'm not here to be your CPA at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm only here to tell you what we've done, what works for us, and what we're doing with other people around us. So I just want to let you know that as well. So I want to say, here we go. This is the reason why the line of defense is so powerful, because you get your 10 times your investment in the upfront on the main company, the main corporations. Then if you get other investors, 400, that's even more, because the only thing you're going to invest in is a couple things you're going to do with this, and that's not going to be much at all. I'm talking maybe a couple of buckets of chicken from Kentucky Fried, all right? But other than that, that's it. Folks, I'm telling you, this is very powerful in what you'll be learning and what you'll be doing. If you start here's another thing. Even if you start at one of the lower levels that we have in the organization, in the family, that's perfectly fine too. We treat you like you just dropped 100 racks, because you just might. We don't know. Just because there's someone that I know, and this is a fact because I got confirmation on it today. They're over in California. You would never know they were homeless pushing a cart in the street. To this day, he's working his own business, doing what do you call it, data input. All right, you would never know looking at him. He was homeless, pushing a cart. And I'm like, wow. And of course, he has his business credit. So the thing is that it doesn't really matter where you're at. And you can start at one of our premium levels. Premium is like a level where you're a beginner and with nothing else, and you're gonna learn everything here. You'll learn everything we're talking about. All I'm saying, the only difference between the person that drops, we say, the lot of racks, all right, and on top of that drops the money. Like I said, they drop the money to go ahead and make it happen. Those who might buy, a trade line, all right, a primary trade line. One of the things about this whole thing is this: you'll always get the investment back. You'll get it back. You'll get it back if you do the work. You got to see, some people don't follow through. You're going to have to spend money to make money. I have some people that go ahead, they have businesses for years and years, and they have to buy this, but they don't. You can't. You try to talk them buying it. What for? How come? You need it for the score. Well, what do you mean I need it for a score? You need it for the score, and they want to argue it and then try to make you wrong because they don't really want to pay the money to really have the score. Because here's the thing: if you did, you'd pay. Well, how much is it? $99. Okay, cool. What's the next one? Crown, $99. Cool. Now you would have two things that are reporting continually to. Those are the threefers. Dun and Brad, Business Experience, Equifax. Then you might have Uline, Granger, all those other ones. Now you have 5 reporting or a gas card. Someone says, no, I don't want to get all the gas cards. Well, you're a fool. Why? Because the gas cards are the easy one to build your business credit with. Gas cards are the easiest one to build your credit with. Easiest, easiest, easiest. Why? Because you can always rotate them and you don't have to worry about, so you spend like 40 here, 40 here, 40 there. As long as you spend at least 65 bucks on each card somehow, some way, guess what? It'll report $100. You'll get the score. But we want to get the bigger amounts on there, like for instance, your creative Crown office supply. Divvy's another one. Also, your other areas, you have creative something that you put on there. That's another one. Then there's this other one. There's a bunch of other ones that you can put on there that make a difference. Hatch is another one. They work only in certain areas. So these are things that will make a difference for all of you. So if you want, I don't care if you start new, we treat you like you're, everyone's the same in here, put it that way. It doesn't matter what you spend, because you're all going to have to wait time anyways to get your DUNS number. So guess what? And as you begin to build, you build. And then we're there all the way with you to make sure, guess what? There's nothing you need to do. Need to do means this. You can worry if you want, but the bottom line is worrying doesn't do you any good. And trust me, I know that one, okay? I've been too many years with that. Been there, done that, and have the t-shirt. Don't want to do it. All right, so now let's move on to the next thing. Well, I want to take a moment to go ahead and tell you a couple things here is this. What would you do with an extra $100,000 for your business? Would it change your business life? Would you be able to buy certain things? Have more advertising? Would you be able to maybe hire someone to get you out on the YouTube arena, or someone to go ahead and get you the leads you need? Or can you hire someone to call the leads for you from the Philippines that are really good at what they do? What could you do? What could you do? All right. Now I'll say this. Now, again, remember, it's not legal advice, but remember your line of defense is going to be the most important part of this. Your line of defense is going to be the key. You build your business credit here, and there's a way to move it down here where it multiplies like babies, like bunny rabbits once you begin it. The first part is always the challenging part. It's the waiting. But once you begin and get your score and stop waiting, then you can almost start applying for stuff once a week and getting stuff once a week, building your high scores. Remember, in business credit, you don't get dinged. You don't get dinged. You do not get dinged for pulling the credit. Okay? Now, learning the steps, I want to repackage your whole life at the weekly workshops. That's all I want to do. Repackage your whole life so you have whatever, I don't care what comes your way, franchise, whatever you wish. I'll go into that next training. Now, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. Hey, if you have any questions, go ahead and email us at info@corporatecreditblueprints.com. Email us or go to www.corporatecredit-blueprints.com or give us a call at 471-4252, extension 2001, and ask us anything you want. We'll give you 30 minutes of no anything after. If you want a whole hour with me, here's what I just a real small fee. It's only $250 for a whole hour with me. That's it. All right. I'm not going to charge you like some guy charges $150 for 10 minutes. I'll give you $250 for an hour. In the beginning when I talk to you, but after that, it's $250 an hour. That's it. All right. But I just want to say to you folks, let me tell you one thing. You're going to begin to see a lot more great stuff coming along the road here. In fact, I'm going to start spilling the beans of a lot of stuff we do. But here, when you join us, you'll be part of the family no matter where you want. So you say, you know what? I can finally afford a trade line. I want to get one. We'll get you a primary trade line and we'll get it on for you. Once you get it on, say, now, you know what? I got that on. I want to go into the Big Daddy program. All right. So it doesn't really matter. We're always going to make sure you get to where you want to go. And the thing is why? Because if you don't get where you want to go, how can we go ahead and say we got you where you want to go? Because you're going to be a testimonial for us. That's all you're going to be for us. So I just want to say, you know what? Again, you're going to be a testimonial once we succeed with you because you're part of the family. Here's the deal. If we don't do what we say we're going to do, we won't be in business very long. All right. But also another thing I just want to tell you. See, you're people. You have dreams. I have dreams. Everybody has a dream. We just want to make sure you fulfill the dream. Your dream, not ours, yours. You tell us a dream, we'll tell you if it's possible, which means this. I'm not going to blow sunshine up your wazoo. I promise you that. But I can tell you this much. I will, and the team will, make sure that you get to where you want to go. And in God's grace upon you, absolutely, you'll move mountains. All right, folks, good night. Have a good evening. And most of all, I want to say, have a blessed day tomorrow. We'll see you this Sunday, again, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Thank you very much for being with us. Also tonight, do me a favor. If you've gotten any information that you liked out of this, just go ahead and press the like button. All right. And if you want to go ahead and receive more information when we come online, this is up to you. You don't have to subscribe. But if you want, press the bell so when you're notified when we come on, it's not for us, for you. So you know that we're on so you can come and listen to us. Thank you again. Have a great evening. Bless all your family and bless what's coming up. And people that are in the storm right now in the areas being hit, may blessings be upon you and be safe. Watch what you're doing and take care of yourself. And soon the lights will be turned on and everything else in some of the areas that are turned off. All right. We'll see you. Good night. And most of all, good luck and good night.